Hi, everybody. I haven't talked to you in a couple days, and it's good to be back. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill coming to you on a Saturday morning from the Portland, Vancouver area. I'm taking a week of vacation, a lot of family coming in. I'm going to try to give you an update every other day. I will tell you the weather overall just looks fantastic, comfortable. We may or may not see a dab of rain at some point in the coming days. Um, so let's start off with off on the left. You see the clouds this morning at the Inn at Ottercrest on the Saturday morning. That's down Lincoln County, south of Newport, or excuse me, south of Lincoln City. And much of the cloudiness is up and down the coast right now. Now we're seeing what a beautiful morning, kind of partly sunny to mostly sunny skies over downtown Portland at this hour. Again, this is Grand Floral Parade Saturday, so fantastically comfortable. If you haven't been outdoors, what a great day for the parade. Cloudiness expected to increase somewhat today, and I'm going to show you that. And it's all part of the fact that temperatures have been going a little bit warmer, a little bit warmer, a little bit warmer the last 3 to 4 days, and now we're going to cool down a little bit. So yesterday was billed as the warmest to hottest day of the week, and I think that's going to turn out to be true. It was 76 now, Story on Friday, Kelso 83. Portland, remember at one point I had 91 degrees and then I lowered it to 89 and we only hit 86. It was interesting that there was a sharp dividing line between a hot weather coming up from the southwest and then stopping. That hot weather yesterday got up into Medford where it was 96 degrees, 10 degrees cooler up in Portland. The Dalles hit 92 over in Central Oregon. Bend hit 88 degrees. Again, the big story today is that temperatures that had been going up are now going to start coming back down. And if 86 turns out to be the warmest of the week, it looks like it will, then that's not too shabby for this time of the year. A quick word to tell you about the Momentous Wealth podcast. This is for kind of investment education. Todd Pisarcik and his team from Momentous Wealth Management, licensed in both Oregon and Washington, do a number of different topics on 30, anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, and you can educate yourself on what your retirement portfolio should be looking like, what your mutual funds should be doing, where the market is, that type of thing. You can find Todd's Momentous Wealth podcast on Apple Podcast and Spotify. So we thank him for being the sponsor of our YouTube channel. Okay. Real quick, I want to take you through, I'm going to get back to the weather at hand, but I want to take you through some climate data that I put together the other day. So if you go back the last 4 years, so not including this calendar year, but the calendar year of 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and you look at each month, a total of 48 months, of course, and here's the red line. All of these months, 32 of them, 32 out of 48, averaged to be above normal mean temperature. 14 of them averaged out to be below, and 2 were pretty much right on the button, including last month. The month of May was technically a tenth of a degree below normal in Portland mean temperature. And that's what got me thinking, how often are we seeing below normal temperature months? Well, if you go back to 2020, the clip is that 67% of all months are averaging at least a half a degree or more above normal mean temperatures. So no matter how you slice it, if you just go back, this is a small snapshot, 4 years, you come up with a pretty impressive clip of 67% of months averaging above normal. And in those months, again, this is a small snapshot. I get that, 4 years. But if you go back the last 4 meteorological summers, which are the months of June, July, and August, every single one of them has averaged above normal. And if you average those months themselves, you come up with 2.6 degrees above normal for June, the same exact number for July, and August leading the way at more than 3 degrees above normal from what's considered the 30-year average. So again, it's a small snapshot. I get it. But this would be since 2020, actually. Kind of misspoke there. 2000. No, I'm right. Forgive me. 2020. Summers are getting warmer. And remember, we talked about going back to 2000, which is on this graphic, that what was the average of about 12 to 13 90-degree days in Portland each year, that average is now 16. It was 13, now it's 16, and it seems to be climbing up toward 20 if things don't turn around. So summer is absolutely getting warmer. There's nothing that doesn't support that. All right. So that's all kind of interesting. And it ties to, and you can go back and find this. I think it was back in May, I put out a summer outlook, and you can go back and play this here on YouTube if you like. But the big story was they're transitioning out of El Nino. Now we're in a neutral zone. We're going to be getting into La Nina late this summer and as we go into fall and next winter. And what does that mean for 90-degree days? Is it going to be a hot summer or not? And my findings were the following. Now, keep in mind, I have not been doing summer outlooks as long as I've been doing winter outlooks. Quite frankly, you know, 20 years ago, there wasn't a need to do a summer outlook. Our summers are mostly just fantastic. What I came up with was no 90s in May. Now, we know that was incorrect. We ended up having two. Mean temperature of a degree to two above normal turned out to be exactly normal. June, 1 to 3 90s with temperatures near normal. Now, I tell you what I like. I like this June 1 to 3. And if we only get a couple, then basically the bigger picture would be May to June would end up being no more than 3 90-degree days. And that's a pretty comfortable start to the summer season. July projecting 3 to 6, August projecting to be the hottest month of the season in terms of departure from normal with 6 to 10 90s. And if you added all that together, you came up with this number, which is 12 to 19 90-degree days for the summer season. Now, keep in mind, I think we've entered this period of time, climate-wise, any summer you get where we're less than 20 90-degree days, we're going to consider that to be pretty comfortable. I think we have a chance to do that this summer. So we'll keep following that and seeing if that turns out to be, somewhat true. Now, the big story last week and into today was tracking this hot weather, basically from Texas up through New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, the deserts of California, and moving up somewhat into Oregon. Now, we saw Medford was 96 degrees yesterday. These are the forecast highs today, and I put my white line in to kind of separate what's been upper 80s to 90-degree temperatures down to the south. So you can see that this is basically the heat today nudging up into extreme southern Oregon, mostly southeastern Oregon, but then not protruding any farther northward, and that leaves most of Oregon and Washington in a fairly comfortable pattern. And this heat, in terms of having a risk of moving up into the northwest, is, if anything, is going to regress and modify, cool off in the coming days. So it was if you go back to Monday of this past week, it was a heat threat that some of the modeling was showing we would have a number of days in the 90s. That has not happened. And there's where the hot weather is expected to be today. Okay. So let's get out of this and let's talk about what's going on. Remember, I showed you the clouds at the end at Ottercrest. In fact, radar is picking up what I think is either sprinkles or nothing reaching the ground between Newport and Tillamook and down around Eugene. Now, all of that is coming with some cloudiness. So if you look right here, you can see some clouds offshore. You can see a little cloud band. This is increasing clouds up into Portland in the coming hours for a partly cloudy or partly sunny Saturday expected. There is a front offshore. And if you look down here at the upper level flow pattern, see the trough that's offshore? This trough is going to be weakening, but pushing inland tomorrow. So it throws some increasing clouds our way today. I don't think anybody really has a realistic chance of measurable rainfall. And then it will continue our cool off. We were mid 80s yesterday. We're going to be low 80s today. And we're probably, with this trough swinging in tomorrow, going to be in the mid 70s. And it's at least possible that we'll have morning cloudiness tomorrow before we get some sunshine. So all of a sudden, the outlook for June is looking really comfortable. So here's the European upper level flow pattern. This is this afternoon. And right here, where you see the contour lines at 18,000 feet of equal pressure, where they kind of, what we call trough, or they kind of dip offshore. That's that upper trough that we're looking at. There's a surface front with it, throwing clouds our way today to some extent. And then this trough, see how here's tomorrow around noon. See how it weakens, but it swings inland. That's basically just going to continue our cool down and maybe give us some morning cloud cover, as I mentioned. And then we go into the first of the week. Now, here's some weak ridging, but the real hot stuff is right here down in California. We're at a 579 contour. So that's temperatures that have a chance to be around 80 degrees. But first of the week, that's still pretty comfortable. And then as I go into the week, see this big upper level low sitting up in the Gulf of Alaska, 534 low, then closed contours, 543 low, pardon me. So this rain and much, much cooler weather is going to be holding up to our north, but it will play the role in suppressing any heat this coming week farther to the south. And that will leave us in the comfortable zone. Modeling much of next week gives Portland a high temperature of no warmer than 80 and gives us several days with high temperatures in the 70s. Here's Wednesday. There's maybe a little midweek warm up, but not overly much. And then let me back this up. And then right here's a second upper level low that's swinging in. This is this coming Thursday evening. And there are models that give us a chance of rain from this system Friday into Saturday of this upcoming week. Certainly, maybe the bigger story is it just continues to suppress heat away from us. And in fact, if you look at the latest updated outlooks from the National Weather Service and NOAA, they back up the fact that maybe my projection of June averaging near normal temperatures is going to turn out to be right. We'll see. Here's the 6 to 10 outlook. This is January 13th through the 17th, so getting us into mid-June. And look at the outlook in blue over Oregon and Washington, below normal temperatures, and a chance of at least some measurable rainfall that you see in green. And if I continue, now we're pushing the outlook from June 15th to the 21st. Look at the below normal colors in Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. In fact, even down across the Oregon border into Northern California, giving us a chance of some decent precipitation. Now, keep in mind, it doesn't take much to have above normal precipitation this time of the year as we are entering into our dry season. So I would not look at this as, wow, it's really going to be raining. I would look at it like the outlook models are picking up on at least several chances of some moisture. I will tell you, if you look out at the rest of June, I see about 3 to 4 days that look like they could have measurable precipitation. Okay. And then if you go on the outlook 3 to 4 weeks out, this is now all the way through January 5th. June 22, January 5th. This shows some warming, but it still shows that Western Oregon and Washington are kind of in the equal chances. So maybe temperatures are fairly comfortable. And it shows that we are in the equal chances of getting some moisture. So no matter how you slice that, that is an outlook that is, I think that's outdated right now. No matter how you slice this is an outlook that's giving us the hope of pretty comfortable weather. So with that said, on this Saturday morning, coming up at on 9 o'clock on the morning, these are current temps, 63 down in Medford. Remember, Medford was 96 yesterday. Not as warm today, 89, maybe 90. Remember that heat starting to suppress and push down to the south. 87 tomorrow. Remember, we had that little ridging to start the first of the week, 90, 91 on Monday, Tuesday. Not as warm as it was yesterday. And then 80s on Wednesday and Thursday and down to 82 on Friday. So that's really nice weather down in Southern Oregon. North Bend, we've got cloudiness along the coast today, 61, 60, then some sunshine and generally in the 60s and dry through the period. Let's run it up into Bend. There's a chance KGW's Futurecast models were showing spotty storms yesterday afternoon, and again, the chance of that today over the Central Cascade. So keep an eye. This shows a slight chance of a thunderstorm, 84. Chance of some showers in Central Oregon tomorrow, cooler, 78. And then all sun, basically, and 80s on Monday, Tuesday, and then closer to 80 on Wednesday, Thursday. So again, the big story to me here is really, really comfortable stuff. Eugene, 80 today. Look at that. And then a run of 70s maybe next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's really comfortable stuff. You run up into Seattle, 59, partly sunny, 80 today, mostly sunny, 72 tomorrow, 69 Tuesday, 68, and then upper 60s to about 70 much of next week. And remember, I talked about the fact that the next chance of rain I could see at this point was Friday into Saturday. Here's Seattle picking up a chance of showers Friday of next week. So we will certainly be keeping an eye on all of that. And let's see, let's just go on and show you Portland 7-day forecast. So I've got this set to the automated numbers from the National Weather Service feed right now. I mean, I need a break. So I'm going to keep an eye on things, but I'm not going to be putting together a daily actual degree temperature. But for the most part, this looks pretty good to me. Low 80s today. There is partly cloudy skies coming in with increasing cloud cover. There could be some morning clouds tomorrow. Absolutely, if we wake up to morning clouds tomorrow, that would heighten the chance of the high temperature only being in the 70s. And there's that near 80 on Monday and Tuesday, and then even cooler on Wednesday, Thursday. And then I would say partly cloudy Friday of next week, leading into what may be a chance of showers that night into Saturday. This is courtesy of Hazeldale Tire Pros. So I'll probably talk to you again on Sunday. What is today? Friday. I'm going to try to update you on my vacation every other day, okay? Unless something develops, which does not look overly likely. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll talk to you soon.